It's your boy Mike. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. So, Ironcane released this video 3 months ago talking about our Dokkan and Legends in trouble, and then their thumbnail was like the end of an era, and a lot of people, took a picture of it, and then anytime something good happens in Dokkan and Legends, they always screenshot and then post that, and they're like, excuse me, then why is Dokkan selling so good? You know? And I wanted to watch the video for myself because this is the first time I've watched it. I haven't looked at anything beforehand. I haven't seen any clips of it. I literally was like watching the first 10 seconds of this because I was just like curious about it. And I don't know why it says I watched the whole thing. I literally haven't watched it at all. We're going to go ahead and pre-like this, and we're going to read this pinned comment first. Hey guys, the point of this video was to gauge how you guys are feeling and if interest in Dragon Ball Mobile gachas is declining. I pointed out some bad decisions making and overall viewership as points as to why I thought interest could be waning. This is not me saying that either game is dead or going to hit end of service tomorrow. I was simply asking the question of where we all stand. It seems that a vast majority feel Dokkan is fine, and to that point I would agree. Legends is in a vastly worse position than Dokkan. However, with both games celebrating milestone years and not sticking the landing in every regard, and viewership changing because of it, I thought this would be an interesting discussion video to see where everyone's heads are at. That is all. And I think that I do know that Ironcane is a little bit newer to Dokkan, but I am a little bit curious to see what his points are. But let's go ahead and just start the video. This is a very funny for frame one, by the way. Let's go ahead and start though.
What's going on, guys? Arkin here, back with another Dragon Ball game video, because this is kind of a video where I just want to talk to you guys and kind of see where y'all's heads were at, because I'm going to talk about where my head was at in regards to Dragon Ball Legends and Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So if you guys know me, I have been tapped into Dragon Ball Legends from the very start, since the beta that they had on Android all the way up to now. I've taken like maybe 2 breaks in my time of playing the game. And then, of course, with Dokkan.
Yeah, for Legends, for me, I stopped playing completely. I pop in sometimes during like also that is so weird. They did the tournaments like this. They did the tournaments on Legends right recently, and they had it where previously they would show which screen you're looking at. That was so dumb that they didn't have it where it was you could actually see it this time, like whose perspective you are watching as well. Very silly. But yeah, I've completely dropped Legends. I usually only pop in during some of the major celebrations, if even that. But I did start when the game like first started off, right? Like I was a day one player. I was iPhone though, so I wasn't beta. My brother was though. And I got to play a little bit from his phone.
I just started last year, almost a year to the day at this point. But what I wanted to bring up to you guys is, are these two games in trouble? And the reason why I bring this up is because both games, they are in their down periods right now, as they typically tend to be. But what's kind of shocking and scary to me is that these aren't just like normal periods or a normal year of both games, really. Dokkan is celebrating its 10th anniversary, right? This is its 10th anniversary year. And if I'm not mistaken, they kind of promised that this would be a 10th anniversary, like, celebratory year, and they would try to keep the momentum that they started with the year, right? And for Dragon Ball Legends, this was the game's 7th anniversary. And of course, the number 7 means a lot to Dragon Ball. 7 Dragon Balls, all that stuff. So for Dragon Ball Legends to kind of be in a similar path with its 7th anniversary.
I can't speak for Legends because I don't play the game. Like I said, I literally stopped playing it every single day from like the 4th, maybe 3rd anniversary onwards. I think it was 4th year anniversary though. But Dokkan, it's if we just talk about like let me go ahead and pull something up, right? I'm not gonna stretch the bottom part of the screen because like we're just gonna go back to the video in a second anyways. But like when we have Dokkan Day giving us the free tickets and the free stones every 15th and 30th of the month, on top of that, that's literally for every banner that we're getting the free tickets. And as much as people might have gotten unlucky like myself, being able to have the chance to pull the brand new unit every single banner where you could just get the unit for free and not even have to worry about it, like that's awesome. There was legitimately only one time throughout the entirety of Dokkan Day so far where I got a free unit, but that's still a free character. You know, I still got Gamma 2 for free. And that's insane to think about. Like that wouldn't have happened beforehand, right? That would only happen during bigger celebrations, but no, now it's every single celebration. Like I almost feel like overall the smaller like the monthly Dokkan Fest have had bigger hits, and then the big celebrations like Golden Week, for example, with Tech Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, who he sucked, Ain't Hit, who was pretty good, but then like he aged a little bit poorly, you know. Like a lot of these smaller celebrations, like the Agio Kid Goku, was very decent. Super Saiyan 3 Diamond Vegeta, even though he was pretty bad, he just started getting some really good buffs as well. Who else was like a really good like unit that dropped, that was, oh yeah, Kale and Caulifla. Like they were also some pretty decent units. That wasn't like a necessarily like bigger moment, I would say. Tao was also a very decent character, but again, like everyone always says, Tao killed the game, Tao killed the game, you know. But they like these Dokkan Day missions that you can just do was very, very nice for the event. But like I will say that there have been some very big misses, like for Million Arena, you know, Festival of Battles. A lot of people don't like that. Like I can't say that overall the 10th year as a whole is like the best in a sense.
Three being a little more,
Or else it would be very
controversial
hard
than
for me to
Dokkans.
say.
I feel like Dokkan, in my opinion, kind of nailed it. I feel like they did a really good job, but you know, to each their own. And Legends, I think overall they did fine, but I think there was some bumps in the road. At least it started off pretty rough. But here we are, right? It is October 17th as I'm recording this, and I've spoken to with my friends, fellow creators, you guys, and everybody seems to be pretty down on these games. I mean, if you look at the most recent releases, Dokkan just dropped an LR that is a baby Gohan and Goten, which, to my understanding, at least as far as I heard from Truth, is one of the worst performing videos on his channel, like in terms of like new character drops. Like they should be doing a lot better than they currently doing. And on the Legend side of things, like Zamasu actually does look pretty solid, but he doesn't really seem to be having that push as, you know, other Ultras had. And if you look up the lineup previous to him, you know, I really was, you know, happy with Android 13, of course, with my bias. But, you know, I would say the vast majority of people weren't. And then coming off a cooler, it just kind of seems like these games have kind of gotten lost in the sauce a little bit. And it's very concerning because, you know, talking to, you know, the Slay and some other guys, again, these games,
Again, I'll try not to pause too often, but again, like I would say the main issue with the GT Goten and Gohan as well was genuinely just the fact that you needed to run them on like a baby team, right? Because like again, we just go back to Dokkan info for a second. We check out the newest LR, or check out the newest LRs. Where are they? Right here. And they have it where like you need a corroded body and mind. So it's like you want to run baby with them. You want to run a corroded body and mind character, because like who the fuck are you gonna run that's corroded body and mind that's as good as them, right? Like you can run STR Rose, but then like I feel like their best team is probably like the GT bosses team with like Omega and stuff. But it was just like a really fucking awkward situation with that, right? Because if we go ahead and just check out that was the thing too, they weren't GT bosses. let me just leave that open though real quick, and then let's just go to the newest TURs. And then we just go over to GT bosses for a second. They like the whole celebration was just very wonky, because again, like Super 17, for example, wanted to be run on GT bosses and wants to also have it where you're running a target Goku, so you can get like all of this passive buffs, right? And then we go over and then we check Omega's thing, and it's GT bosses, power absorption, and human deeds, right? Well, no GT bosses, no power absorption, no inhuman deeds. So it was just a really fucking wonky release that came out, and like I don't think you should run two babies, and on top of that, no one really summoned for baby, so it's like when you make this guy not have like a lot of good teams, I think that it was just like a really fucking bad situation for them. So that like the entire celebration was kind of just like very, very weird, to say the least.
In the fall, typically things are very, very slow and things wind down post celebration and things like that. Things can't always be running at 100 at all times of the year. I think most people are understanding of that, but what's concerning here is that it feels like year after year, this isn't getting better. We aren't going in a better direction in these like low points. It seems like these low points just feel lower and longer and worse. And I don't know if that's just me, and I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way, but is the community like fatigued on mobile gachas? Is like this genre of game for the Dragon Ball scene or the anime community, like, is it just something of the past? These games have been out for quite some time at this point. Of course, Dokkan being out for a decade and Legends being out for 7 months.
7 months. I would say that's the whole reason why they always try to spice things up. We always have something new that drops that completely wows the community, right? Like every single anniversary, they always try to add something new that isn't just the same old, right? Like for this anniversary, for example, we have it where it's the EX super attack mechanic, right? Last year, 10th year anniversary, we had it where it's it was the tag mechanic where you could tag between the characters, right? The 8th year anniversary, that was the one that had standbys. 4th year anniversary, that one added active skills. Like they're always going to try to do more and more things to keep the community interested. But at the end of the day, it's always the same game. It's just like a new flashy button in a sense, like new bells and whistles in a sense. But like, yeah, I can understand the point.
And if you look at most other animes, like the only others that like have like long running gachas is One Piece and Bleach, with most others like not really lasting that long. But here we are in 2025 with 2026 soon approaching. We have some exciting news about massive projects being announced at this Spirit Bomb event being held in Japan, where people are actually able to get tickets and go to in person, which is very exciting. They're announcing a brand new game there that is confirmed, and 2 major projects as well. So, you know, it comes to the question, is this going to be a new spanking game like a Xenoverse 3 or just a new property in general? Is it going to be a little bit more on the experimental side like a Breakers, or something a little bit more
Now we know it's just like Dragon Ball Online too.
traditional like Sparking Zero or something, you know, of the franchise's past, right? I think that remains to be seen. Now, one game that I feel has come at the perfect time right now is Dragon Ball Squadron. Now, I know some people, it's not really their cup of tea. They're not really into the MOBAs. Some people aren't really a big fan of the monetization things that they have going on, where you have to flat out buy the characters. You can't roll for them.
It's your money, I'm not your funny.
They will end up being free later, but some people are kind of rubbed the wrong way that they appear, you know, kind of pay to win, and they might be nerfed later when they are eventually, you know, able to be picked up for free, right? But regardless of your thoughts of the game, it is doing very well on the Twitch side of thing, on the streaming side of things, and they are pushing the game. There is a content creator program. They have just recently announced the support of people running their own tournaments, and the game actually backing this and giving rewards to people that are hosting.
Like, don't get me wrong, Gekishin Squadron is really bad in a lot of aspects. The gacha is one of the worst we've seen in any Dragon Ball game ever. It is worse than Dokkan. It is worse than Legends. It has no pity. The X tokens are super fucking bad. Like, knowing that both Dokkan and Legends have been doing this for so long, it is very stupid that Squadron doesn't have something like pity, doesn't have something more usable with the EX tokens, and being able to like get some of these animations that aren't even available anymore. Like, it is very bad in some of these aspects, but I feel like people don't give credit a lot, like Ironcane is doing right now, with how much they are giving the community support. They have it where you can get if you make your own tournament and people sign up for it, and a lot of people sign up for the tournaments, a lot of people are making the tournaments, you can get your own rewards just for doing that. They have it where there's the content creator program that I'm a part of, that while there are some things that like I wish were better about it, what other gacha game has that? What other Dragon Ball game has a content creator program like this? None. No one is even trying, which is why I'm always I'm always trying to not like hard defend, and like sometimes I feel like I might defend it a little bit too much, but at the same time, Squadron is trying to do 10,000 different things that are new to them that they can't like know how to do at the start, right? It's a MOBA game, so that maybe the balancing isn't always just going to be the best. They're doing tournament stuff, so maybe the tournament support isn't always going to be the best. They just started doing creator support, so maybe the tournament or the creator support isn't going to be the best, you know? Like, it's just something that has to be ironed out. It has to be something that is just better with time. But yeah, like I do think that like Gekishin Squadron is really good for like community support and things like that.
It and rewards the people that actually win the tournaments. Just like
Yeah.
really cool things like this, and just being really involved.
Because it's not
with
only
that
just the people who
game's
participate, it's the tournament
community.
organizers as
and
well.
I think the game itself is, again, just a very nice breath of fresh air, because if you want the character, you just straight up buy it and then you have it. And the game,
That is also another thing too. You don't have to summon and hope for like a 1% chance on getting a new character. It's just a flat 250 gems, and on top of that you can get like 99% of the cast for free. So
play
something to
style
think
is
about.
just very different and distinct from anything that we've ever played in a Dragon Ball game before, and it just seems to be very well made, with a lot of love, heart, and soul. The animations look incredible.
The skins as well, as
look really
you can
good.
see.
And
A lot of
when
love.
you look at these mobile gachas, I think Dokkan especially, and I mean Legends as well, I think the Ultras, like some of the Ultra art, like, I mean, if you look at Frieza and Goku, I think Frieza and Goku, like, really, I think took me aback, but even Dokkan, like, looks really, really great 10 years later, and they've really found a way to just match the styles of whether it's GT, Z, OG Dragon Ball, Super, the movies. I think they found a really great way of balancing what the games, what they want them to look like, but also kind of taking what the original work looked like as well. But in terms of games that get regular updates, we have Legends, we have Dokkan, and now we have Genshin. Now, looking at the new year, how do you guys feel about Dragon Ball Legends and Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle? Again, with the context, this was the year for both games that they are really supposed to show out and prove that, like, they are here to stay, and it's supposed to be a celebratory thing of them being around for as long as they have. They're essentially sibling games, with the main producer for each of them being Toshi. Toshi hopping from Dokkan to Legends and now at Genshin, right? Kind of manning these mobile games at one point or another, leaving, Dokkan at one point and coming over to Legends, and left Legends. It comes to conversation, has Legends recovered with Toshi's loss? And I feel like most people would tell you the game has kind of lost something since Toshi's departure, where Dokkan, I think it might be a little bit more subjective. I think some people actually kind of preferred when Toshi was not producer, but with Legends, I don't know if we are entirely sold with this new team yet. Now, apparently Toshi is still kind of like, you know, on the team from a perspective.
I would say Dokkan has done some pretty good stuff and some pretty bad stuff. Like, it's been very here and there. Like, the one thing that I liked so much about the 10th year anniversary was just the fact that every single thing except for Dragon Ball felt like it got love. You know, you had Cell Saga that got some love. You had Universal Survival Saga that got some love, maybe a little bit too much love. You had it where the movies got some love. You had it where the what else was like a bigger one? Majin Buu Saga got some love. Like, every generation that likes and plays this game felt like they all had something for them. Now, was it like all perfect? I still have some thoughts about on like some of the units. Again, like Dragon Ball, like it didn't get like too much love in some regards, but like in other ways, I think that the like Dokkan has been consistently doing a lot of things that are trying to, like, they're doing a lot of the same, but I feel like they don't get enough credit for doing things that are just not, like, maybe the hypest. Like, again, when who would have bet that we would have gotten an LR Gohan and Goten possessed, right? Who would have guessed that we were going to get something like what's like another character that was just kind of wonky, or not like wonky, but like weird, like Tao. I think that a lot of people probably weren't going to guess that we were going to get Tao, but hey, Dragon Ball got some love with that, you know. And they always try to satisfy like everyone. I would say Daima took a long time, but the animations looks pretty good.
Kind of just like giving advice and like on the background side of things, but he's not there, right? Like, not mainly there. I mean, hell, he was there at the 7th anniversary presentation, but he's not like on the team like he once was. But I wanted to make this video to talk to you guys because, admittedly, as a creator for this game, as somebody that's played these games now for quite some time, and Legends a little bit more than Dokkan, admittedly, I feel a little concerned because I think the creators are feeling it, but most importantly, you guys are feeling it, right? The player base and the communities, the both respective communities are feeling it. And it's just, is this going to improve in the new year? Or is this going to get worse? You know, Legends implementing stuff like helpers, multiple ultras, and like, you know, the meta not feeling that great. And then Dokkan kind of putting out lackluster release after lackluster release. Now, it's kind of cool to see certain characters get representation, like, you know, I guess Tao, you know, I know that's like kind of a meme, but it is nice. But I think the issue is that they just did it during a period where it was unhyped with more kind of like, you know, argumentative unhyped back to back to back to back, right? I think GDC was a fine, you know, event / celebration, and it was very popular. I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was very well received over the board, and then of course Omega was as well. Hybrids at the end, I don't think most people really liked all that much, but all in all, I think it's just a place of concern for both games, right? 7th anniversary is over and done with. 10th anniversary is over and done with. And the games were really supposed to kind of, I don't know, rework the wheels a little bit for each respective game. And in my eyes, was it enough? And what really wanted me to make this video is, again, the conversations I've had with my fellow creators, conversations I've had with my viewers in chat, and the conversations I've just had online in general, and just seeing the communities kind of converse with one another. From my perspective with Legends, I took a screenshot where I showed people, and again, you know, God rank typically is hitting BR 70. You need like an extra 2,000 or more RP to maintain your God rank, right? This time around, when I hit BR 69, I was technically already in God rank, but you actually need to be BR70 to actually, you know, get the medal and be there. But as long as you're in the top 1000, that is God rank. So if you look here, I was God rank before I was even BR70. So what I decided to do, why am I going to play another match and get BR70? I'll just wait till tomorrow, get my extra 200 from my daily bonus, and then just get God rank like that and not play anymore. And if you know what, I actually didn't need to play anymore. And this was like Sunday when the season resetted Tuesday. So it's just, it's concerning, man. It's not just conjecture. It's not just talk. Now, I don't know what the sales are looking like from Dragon Ball Legends, but Dokkan typically, you know, whether you like the game or not, you know, Legends heads, Dokkan, you know, by and large, performs very, very well. Typically being at the top of the charts from the mobile games side of things, and Legends is there sometimes in certain regions, but Dokkan is there, like, typically, like, internationally, which is very impressive for a game being out this long, right? But that being said, there has been a lot of dips. There's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs in both games. So although Dokkan is a little bit more lucrative financially, Legends, it's a little bit more concerning because not only is obviously less people.
I think that's the reason why that, well, I did want to say too, I think Dokkan is always just going to have dips and lows and highs and all that stuff. Like it's just the nature of the game, right? No matter how cool the animations are and how nice some of these characters are, like Tao, for example, of course, like, people aren't going to give a damn about some of these moments. Like they're not going to care about Tien and the LR dropping, even if it has really cool like animations. People aren't going to really care about PyCon. But then when we see, like, on Twitter, when people are like, oh my god, I can't believe it's another Fusions for anniversary. It's like, no shit, dude. You only play when it's anniversary and it's Fusions. Like, no shit. They're going to be like, oh, well, now we're going to have to do Fusions. Oh, we're going to have to do the same old bread and butter. Ah, here you go. Here's MUI Goku and Super Saiyan 4s. Because it works. It works. It literally works. And when we have to, like, when we see this over and over again, and the highest moments are like when it's Fusions or when it's Super Saiyan 4s or when it's like a cool moment, right? They have to choose that because, like, it's the thing that's going to sell the most. And for Legends, like, I do think that they kind of reinvented the wheel now that they're making the new Z or what was the new rarity or whatever, right? Like they're trying to change things up, and they're being like, okay, well, now, like, we see the format's not working, we're gonna be replacing Legends Limited with this new rarity. Like, this is how the rates are gonna work, and this is how everything is gonna work. Because I think that, like, they realize, like, it's something needs to be changed, right? So I think Ironcane was right in that way, or else why would they change it? You know, like, the supporters was, like, probably one of the most universally hated mechanics, and now we have this new rarity for Legends, and everybody's talking about Legends again. Minatos is saying, like, oh, maybe I should play Legends again. Like, that doesn't happen with just some random thing happening for anniversary, you know? Like, Minatos wasn't thinking about it beforehand, you know?
Well, just playing the game overall based on, you know, the screenshot that I'm showing you guys with the God rank. But let's be honest, you know, Cooler was not an impressive release. For most people, Android 13, although he was a great character, not really one that's really hyped, bringing people back into the game, right? Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the Ultra, I think that was exciting, but I don't think it held people for very long. And Helpers overall, I think, is a massive flop, and they really need to rework that fast, or I think just more and more people are going to trickle away from the game. And I think this year's Legends Fest is very, very, very important, because last year, let's be honest, and I want you guys to let me know, last year's Legends Fest was so controversial that I think most people kind of just tapped out after Fest and then didn't show back up either at all, or until Anniversary. And I think that was a lot of people, man. Now, granted, I think we're at a much worse place now, but that's what puts so much, pressure on the Legends team to really go crazy for Legends Fest this year, because they have a repeat offense of what they did last year. I don't know, man. And again, there is no promise of like, oh, 8th anniversary is going to be really crazy, guys. We have a lot of stuff planned.
Let me just refresh my memory. What was Legends Fest again? Let me just double check real quick because I actually don't remember. If I looked it up correctly, I'm pretty sure it's this one. It's just the Legends Festival 2024 because this is before that came out because it's October. Yeah. So Vegito and it was Rose. Like they had a lot of issues. Vegito was just like someone who was just a combo merchant, not a combo merchant. He was someone who, like the thing that Legends always has an issue was, and people don't really necessarily like, is when you can't play the game. If you release a character that makes it where it's just like they just combo forever, then people don't like the game, And Vegito was that guy, right? Who just continued combos forever. It was kind of like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example. And Rose was also just another character who was just very wonky from what I've heard as well. So it was just things like that I would say was also like a pretty
That's
big
what
miss.
7th anniversary was supposed to be. Now, if you felt they hit that, that's awesome. I have my own thoughts and feelings. I think they did it in some regard. But again, 8th anniversary is going to be business as usual. This was the year for both games that they were supposed to, come swinging and hard and just like nonstop.
I mean, Legends did
So
just
the
swing
fact that
hard
we're
back
all
right now.
feeling this way in the 10th year of Dokkan and the 7th year of Legends, that's why I'm here and that's why I'm making this video. So at this point, I leave it to you guys. Let me know how you're feeling with both games, right? This isn't really a video to kind of dog on Dokkan and say it's doing better than Legends, or say the same thing for Legends and, dog on Dokkan and say Legends is better. Generally, as, somebody that plays both games now, I used to dog on Dokkan, but now I've, kind of seen the light, quote unquote. Now that I'm playing both games, now I'm tapped into both communities, I feel like there is some, signs that we should be a little concerned. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe, I'm looking too much into the down time that we're in right now. But something about this just feels different. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Sparking Zero isn't coming out this year and that was something to look forward to. But I think you'll notice a lot of your content creators and a lot of your streamers are playing Genshin, and, arguably, maybe some people it's not your cup of tea, but it's just new and it's fresh and it's just doing something different. And that's why I posed the question, are we tired as a collective, as a community, of both of these games?
We can't look at Genshin because, okay, let's take me for example, right? I was a person who primarily did Dokkan videos, right? Like some of my highest videos are Dokkan based videos, right? Like you can look at my channel and you can see that, right? And then Genshin comes out, and now like every single video that I release of Genshin has 400, 500 views. When before, when I would release Dokkan, the lowest lows would be like less than 100, maybe 100. And the highest highs were like 1,000, right? But Genshin was more consistent. Not only were people watching the video longer, but also people just were watching the video more often, like on a consistent basis, right? And that's because when Genshin came out, it's a brand new game. It's something that everyone has free reign for. Whether you were small little Timmy or big giant man, if you were giant form Piccolo, right? It didn't matter. Like everyone had their chance to get a slice of the pie. And it's the only reason why like my channel like relatively went through a huge jump, right? People have been playing Dokkan for years, so you have to fight it out with like 10,000 different other people. But then you go to Gekishin Squadron And because everyone's kind of new to the game, everyone is figuring out like what content works for them. Everyone's figuring out like what would be interesting to make videos of and all of that. Like again, everyone just has their own thing that they can do, and it just happens every single time, right? Like people did it for Sparking Zero, where it was like, oh well, I guess everyone's going to Sparking Zero now, and then Sparking Zero came out, and then everyone stopped uploading videos of that, right? uh Gekishin Squadron comes out, everyone starts uploading videos on it, and slowly people start going back to like what they were doing, or some of them stay like myself, and then some of them they don't even like play the game anymore, right? Like it's very iffy, I would say. um but yeah, I don't know, I still like Dokkan, I don't like Legends. That's just my thoughts.
Is the writing on the wall? Is it time to sunset the Dragon Ball mobile gacha? Is it time to put it to rest? I don't know. I still think there is a place for these games, and I think the community, there's a subsection that like kind of hates the mobile side, and they just want like really good console games. But from that perspective, the mobile games were holding it down where nothing else really was. You know, Fighters unfortunately hit its expiration date. It's on its come up now, thankfully.
That's the second season in the background.
Looks like it's getting updates. They're adding Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and it really does seem like the game is actually like having a second win, which is really exciting. But for the longest time, it was Legends, it was Dokkan, and you know, it was Xenoverse 2 here and there. But in terms of like week to week, day to day, it was Legends and Dokkan. So, you know, you got to give respect to what these games did for the community and the content that they provided, not just to creators, but for, you know.
Oh, for sure. Like the thing that is really good about Dokkan that I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about is, again, just how much it does justice to a lot of these moments that maybe we just don't feel like it did a lot of justice to, you know? Like the Gogeta fight, for example. The Gogeta versus Janemba fight was literally like a minute long. He fused, he said, you know, like it's over for you, and then he exploded him. Right? And then Dokkan comes out with it during the 10th year anniversary, and it's like over a minute long of animations where they're like breaking the game with it. They're doing all this stuff with the Soul Punisher. They're doing the final flash and all that. And it's like, damn, like whoa, this is fucking awesome, you know? And even on top of that, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is like the biggest victim of that, where it's just like, I feel like people like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta because he's just a game merchant. He's just like a person who looks so good in games, and then you watch the episodes that he's from, and it's just like they did not do enough. They literally, like, it was so bad when you go back to watch it, you know? Like it's one of the most oral like losses of all time. Like where the Kamehameha, dude, it looks so bad. uh so that's the reason why I always like Dokkan and Legends, for kind of doing things that haven't been done before with that character, and creating those moments that didn't really exist in the past. One of the biggest things that people love Dokkan for right now is the Dokkan original animations, right? People wanted for the diamond characters when they literally had not even been like done just with the anime yet, which is insane. You would rather have a Dokkan original animation over Daima being done for the first time. For the first time. To do like a one-to-one shot. They would rather have had Dokkan original animations. That's to the point like where we've gotten, you know? And that is crazy.
Consumers as well, right? Just like keeping Dragon Ball alive in a time where
I also like the 10th year anniversary figurines. I have both Vegito and Gogeta, man. It's so cool.
the anime is finished. You know, movies are coming out every now and then, right? Daima came out, but of course there's only so much they could do with it. Now, with the announcement at the Spirit Bomb event, if there is an anime that's coming back, that could be the thing that, you know, flips the scales, right? That could be the thing that revives, quote unquote, Dokkan, Legends, things like that, right? Where Genshin is so fresh, it doesn't really need that syringe, that juice, right? I mean, you could argue Sparking needs it. I mean, I think I've made that argument myself. But Dokkan and Legends, I feel like you're definitely feeling it more, just because these games have been out so long.
There's just two things that I hope people, again, like, are fine and more what's like the word, more open to them just doing one-to-one shots and not having it be just all Dokkan originals. Because one of the biggest things that I've always seen people like make comments about right now is just like, oh, well, the animations for Daima didn't look as good as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Oh my god, I can't believe they fumbled these animations because they didn't look like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, we can't have that every time, dude. We can't. And if the anime comes back, I don't want people to say that again, where it's like, oh, dude, they gotta have it where God Goku's original Dokkan original animations. No, it's gotta be 1-to-1 with anime, please, please, dude, please. Is that we can't have that just yet. And the other thing too is that Dokkan has to. Legends does a really good job of this. Like, I applaud Legends for this. Legends takes like 1 month max to drop these characters, right? Daima characters were all done when Dokkan dropped only 2. There was like, what was it? It was like 5 or so Daima characters, and then like they were done with Daima celebrations basically. Like, they dropped Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then that was it. And then Dokkan waits a year for the anniversary to drop it. They can't do that again. When Moro Arc comes out, when God Goku comes back, when all of this stuff happens again, we can't have Dokkan wait forever. They can't. They can't do that. As long as they don't do that, I think that the games will definitely get like a resurgence.
And I think they can only do so much. Now, Dokkan is coming out with a new game mode. Legends is coming out with a new guild.
10th year anniversary, not 10th year, 11th year anniversary, by the way, and we still haven't seen that yet. Game mode, dude. I went to it. I went to the Dokkan meetup in Los Angeles, and they still haven't made it.
Thing, or at least I think it's out now. But, you know, isn't enough. Isn't enough. But hey, if the Spirit Bomb thing really does announce a new anime, I think things will be fine for these games. I think a part of the reason why things are starting to feel slow is because they're kind of just recycling. You can only recycle so much. I think they did a really great job with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because,
which is why they do the Dokkan original animations. So when they have to recycle, they'll make stuff a lot better.
Looking back at the source material,
what else did they have?
I didn't watch GT, but you know, for those that did, or for those that know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was not doing all that in his animations, right? He was not doing all that. So the fact that they went back and kind of did a little revisionist history, but they just made it look so raw and cool, proves and shows that these games can carry the hype. But I feel like we kind of just need something new as well. That's my thing. I think that's what they could do to really, you know, get these games back and going. Just new stuff, because I feel like if we're staying at the course that we're at now, I think it's going to be a little worrisome. With that being said, y'all, that's going to be the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about both games. Which game you feel like is doing better right now. I think there's arguments for both games. And again, this isn't a thing to argue, like, you know, which game is definitively better, right? I think that is very subjective, of course. But I think there has been missteps for both games, and also looking at them together as a whole, just as the mobile gacha genre, seeing like, can this continue, right? I feel like just that question in general, I just curious where you guys stand, right? But yeah, y'all, that's gonna be the video. Subscribe for more content like this. I think it's kind of fun to do little discussion videos like this every now and then, just because I'm just curious to hear your guys' thought, because guys, we feel it too, man. I'm telling y'all, like, maybe you know, other guys aren't as vocal as I am, or like, you know, some of us are, but like, you know, we talk, and we talk to each other, and you know, we talk to y'all guys on Twitter sometime. But just like, I'm gonna extend the line for most folks. We feel it, and we know, and we want what you guys want, man. We just, it's I don't know, man. It's a time. It's a time right now. But I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. Peace out, man. Peace out. And hopefully this Spirit Bomb event gives us some heat. Please, bro. Please.
Yeah. I think Ironcane made like a lot of good points in this video. Like, again, I think that probably the only opinion that I didn't agree with was like, oh, 10th year anniversary. Like it doesn't really feel like it's that big of a year. Like I do think that 10th year anniversary, it had some low lows for sure. Again, with something like the baby celebration and GT bosses celebration and all of that stuff. But when they had to deliver, when it's 10th year anniversary, when it's the global download celebration, when it's all of that stuff, they continue to do so. You know, the heavy hitters will continue to hit really, really good, right? And I think that's the whole reason why like a lot of people are just like really happy with the part 2 of the celebration. And while I have some criticisms of the 11th year anniversary so far, I think the overall 10th year anniversary and the 10th year in general was one of the better ones, as much as people might not like to admit. You know, like there were some dead periods, of course, but there always is going to be dead periods. That's just how it is. But yeah, like I do have hope for Dokkan, and I do have, I don't know if I would say hope. I believe in Legends to be able to last like a long time. I like it's something that's just gonna have to happen. But yeah, like I'm gonna link the video down in the comments below too. Maybe you guys can go watch it and leave a like, maybe leave a comment on Ironcane as well. Ironcane is a really cool content creator. If you guys don't already follow them, they make Dokkan, Legends, and Gekishin Squadron content, so I definitely would recommend following them. But yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below as well, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.